welcome to a YouTube exclusive little talk with PopCultX. My name is Danny, and I'm here today to talk to you guys a little bit more about Comic-Con. Now, if you watched our last episode or follow us on social media, you know we put out a question to everyone out there. What was your impression or your take of Comic-Con this year? Did you enjoy it? How was it? And fortunately for us and for you guys out there, a past contributor and friend of PopCultX answered the question for us. So please welcome Tori King back to PopCultX. Now, you might remember Tori from our conversation we had in a previous episode about Ted Lasso. So, hi, Tori.
Hey, Danny. Thank you again for having me on your podcast, PopCultX. And I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about my first Comic-Con experience. I guess to start off, I didn't really know what to expect because I'd heard of Comic-Con before, but San Diego was always too far away for me to go to, or I couldn't get my hands on some tickets. And so now that I live here, and this is the first year that it's kind of been back in full force, I was like, I have to go, and even better, my work covers it at Fox 5. So we, got to interview some really cool guests and set up right there in the gas lamp and talked to people as they walked by. So I guess my first impression was I did not realize how merchandise-centric it is. Like, there's a ton of booths, and, there's a ton of creatives collaborating, making art, making these really cool collectibles and one-of-a-kind I don't want to say toys, but like memorabilia. And I just didn't realize that most of the convention center was going to be filled with booths of these artists just selling their stuff. And so it was really cool to just go from booth to booth and just see everyone's individual crafts. I love that because I'm nowhere near that creative. Those people have more creative ability in their one pinky finger than I do in my entire body. So I just loved getting to see that.
That's awesome. But was there one merchandise or one product that you felt compelled to get, that you were like maybe preconceived in your mind that you were like, I'm going to go get that?
Of course, I had to get my hands on a limited edition Ted Lasso Funko. So I got me one of those. That was my one get at the convention center at Comic-Con this year. Next year, though, I will definitely be prepared to purchase more. I just got to save up because things can be a little pricey there. I was definitely surprised at how expensive things were. But, when they take a long time to make, it makes sense. And I think the money goes to a worthy cause, and that's those individual artists working hard and spending all their time and effort into making a very unique, one-of-a-kind product. And so to be able to give back to them next year is something that I want to prepare for that I wasn't ready for this year. I think another first impression was, holy cow, there are so many freaking people. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been touching 1 million people at once, but that's what it felt like. I mean, it was just so packed, and everyone's in costume. And so it makes everyone feel even closer together because, someone's antenna might poke you in the eye, or, someone's wing could be touching you as you're going through the crowd, whatever, you know what I mean? And so I just, I felt like we were in traffic the whole time. And so I don't know if it was just because people were so excited to go back this year or what, or if it's just always like that, but there were just lines sprawling everywhere. I didn't know the start of one line and the end of another line. It was just a little crazy. And so I guess I thought that it was going to be a little less populated, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. I'd never been before. So, but yeah, I mean, geez, the amount of people was just enormous. So it was just cool that everyone was there together, and it's the first one since the pandemic has happened, and so I'm sure everyone was just happy to be back in public. And I'm sure these people made these costumes 2 years ago, and my husband Sean had a college roommate back in the day who used to build these elaborate costumes, and he would make them for people sometimes, but the ones that he would make for himself, they would take months to build. he was always going to Hobby Lobby to get, new material. His material, he would have foam plates all over the, his college apartment. And so you had to tiptoe around the plates. I mean, it takes a long time to make these costumes. And so mad respect to everyone who does it.
But the question is, though, did you dress up?
I was working, so I didn't really get to dress up this year. But if I went back next year, I would love to dress up. I would totally, want to be someone like Korra, maybe from, Avatar, The Last Airbender. I would like to maybe be a superhero. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But I would definitely love to dress up and spend some time getting a costume together. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, it's amazing to see everyone's take on something. And then even like a steampunk Superman or like a gothic Tinkerbell, like you just never know what someone's going to do or dress as. And I just think it's so cool that this is everyone's one time to kind of just be whoever they want to be. And I think that's really beautiful, without judgment too. I mean, it's just a bunch of nerds. Like it's just a bunch of us nerds who are coming together to, just be with each other. So I thought that was really cool.
So what was your favorite moment of Comic-Con? I mean, you were there, you saw everyone cosplay, you saw the merchandise, but did you have like a favorite moment that really stuck out to you?
Let's see, my favorite moment. Oh man, that's tough. Because we interviewed a lot of people. We got to taste some of Bob's Burgers. They were promoting the new Bob's Burgers movie, and so we got to have some of those burgers. They were pretty good, actually. I was kind of surprised. We also got to meet with some cosplayers. We interviewed cosplayers who have been doing it 19, 20, 26 years, older, more than I've been alive, more years than I've been alive. People have been cosplaying. I mean, it's just
why not?
Really cool to see people's dedication and talk to them about what got them into Comic-Con. But I would have to say, my favorite moment was probably getting to meet the voice actors who play SpongeBob and Patrick, because I'm just such a huge SpongeBob fan. I mean, that show was such a big part of my childhood. I mean, heck, I still watch it and I'm 25, like me and my husband, we always make jokes about it, inside jokes, whatever. And, I think I quote SpongeBob at least 3 times a day, if not more. So, I mean, watching some of our anchors interview them and ask the questions we've always wanted to ask, or getting a personal shout out from them. Or, I mean, I was lucky enough that I got to go and shake hands with them, meet them, talk to them. I actually got to hold the guy who plays SpongeBob's coffee mug while we were interviewing him. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm holding, holding SpongeBob SquarePants coffee right now. And they were just the most genuine people I've ever met. I've met quite a few celebrities. I've been really lucky to see some incredibly talented people with my job. And these two were by far the nicest, the kindest, the most genuine, just saying hi to everyone on the cast and crew. And there's a lot of celebrities that will ignore the camera people, or us smaller people, maybe not necessarily the anchors and reporters, but they went straight up to everyone, thanked us for being there. And they were just taking pictures with everyone, asking, they asked me, they're like, we should get a picture together. I know you told me you're a big fan. Let's get a picture together. I've never had a celebrity be, hey, let's take a picture together. It's always been me kind of awkwardly begging, like, hey, like, can I get a picture? No, they were so cool. And I don't want to say exactly like their characters in real life, because there is a differentiation between them and their personal lives. But the personality is definitely there. I mean, it was cool getting to talk to them. And then, one sentence would be who they are as people and actors. And then the next sentence would be their SpongeBob voice or their Patrick voice. And so it was just so cool to see that. And honestly, meeting them made me love the show even more, because, I think the show started running in 1999. So that's more than 2 decades. so for some people, that's their whole life. And just to see that show still going strong, and just to see those actors still so in love with the show and just trying to put on a good product. And you can tell that they love SpongeBob as much as we do, probably, if anything, more than we do. And so it made me love the show even more, because you could see, and I really felt like I met SpongeBob and Patrick in real life. That's just how real and kind they were. So anyone else who's a big SpongeBob fan out there, you can rest easy. They're great people and super kind actors, and they're just so passionate about SpongeBob. It made me even more passionate. I went and watched like another SpongeBob episode that night after getting home. But yeah, so that was probably my favorite moment. I'm definitely going to frame that picture on the wall forever. Just so cool. And like I said, transcending of multiple generations. It's crazy. Like, you know, Sean and I don't have kids yet, but a lot of our anchors on that show, you know, they might have seen SpongeBob growing up a little bit in their teen years. And now those anchors and those people have kids now. And now their kids are still watching SpongeBob. So I can't think of another show that has lasted that long. You know, I think it is the longest running show on Nickelodeon. But how cool that as a parent, that's a show that you watched growing up and now you get to talk about it with your kid. Like, that's a beautiful thing, and I think that's a rare thing. And even the actors were like, we just can't even believe how far this has gone. So it's a very special show. It's a very unique show, and they deserve all the credit that is coming their way.
So what else do you did you take away from it, or would you even go back next year? I know you said if you weren't working, I guess, would you even go back next year?
Would I be back next year? Absolutely. I would love to go back, not as someone working it. So even though I kind of had some time to walk around and stuff, I would love to just go as a viewer, or as, you know, just an attendee. I would love to dress up. I'd love to shop around. Love to do some of the experiences downtown in the gas lamp. I mean, it was so weird going to the gas lamp and sitting at a nice restaurant, and then you're sitting next to like Mario, and you're sitting next to Star-Lord, and then you're sitting next to like Luke and Leia from Star Wars. And it's just casual. No one questions it. No one questions it at all. It's just like you're bringing these characters to real life, and, you know, it's just so funny to watch. You know, I don't even know, any character out there, an anime character sipping and drinking coffee. You know, it's like nowhere else does this happen. So I would absolutely be back next year. Hopefully we can get tickets. I hear they're hard to come across. What I really want to go to is the Hall H, because that's where all the magic happens. I mean, all the bombs that the movie bombs that Marvel dropped this year is crazy. I mean, their Phase 5 sounds ridiculous. And so I'm really excited about all of that, all the new superhero movies coming out. The Black Panther preview, okay, chills. Literally chills. And I'm like so for all of that female power that is about to come out of it. I've heard some people saying that, you know, the Black Panther shouldn't be a woman or whatever. And I'm just totally against that idea. I think it'd be amazing to have a female Black Panther. Oh, here's my dog. Hi, Rocky. She's my Doberman dog, my little Doberman pup. I think it's really special to have a Black Panther that's a woman, especially to honor Chadwick Boseman. I think you can't just, I think replacing him with someone else feels hollow. And so I don't think it honors him in the way that we all want to honor his life and his legacy. And so I think not just for little girls out there like me who grew up without a superhero that looked like them, you know, but to also honor him, I think the best way to move forward is to have a female Black Panther. And no one says you can't, you know. But I did see the pushback online, and I wasn't all for that. But yeah, I think it's such a beautiful trailer. I've watched it probably 10 times. I'm going to watch it 10 more times, I'm sure. But I'm so ecstatic about that movie. Fantastic Four. It's hard for me to let go of the old one because I just thought it was so good. But, every remake that Marvel has ever made has been amazing. So I think that's going to be really cool. So I think just next year, if I could be in the room when those announcements are made, oh man, like that would be so cool. There was definitely a lot of celebrity sightings this year. We went to the Apple TV Severance little pop-up thing, and that was crazy. And they said, I think something like 90% of the props that were part of the interactive experience were actually used in the filming. So those were the real props. And so to just see like the desk and the chairs, something as small detail as like the stapler, and to think, those actors and actresses were touching this and this is what was used was really cool. So yeah, I definitely will be back next year if I can. I'd like to dress up. Who knows? Maybe I'll dress up as Ted Lasso. That's the easy one, right?
Yes.
But anyways, Comic-Con 2022, amazing, amazing, amazing. Loved working it, and such a cool experience. Everyone should definitely have the chance to go see it at least once in their life. So anyways, there was my first experience at Comic-Con and my first impressions. And like I said, I will definitely be back next year. So thank you so much for having me on to talk about that. I always appreciate coming on to PopCultX. I love you guys. I love entertainment news. I love pop culture. So, I'm just lucky that you guys keep asking me to come back. So hopefully I'll come back on in the future. And I look forward to the next time we talk. See you guys.
All right. Thanks, Tori, again for coming on to talk with us a little bit about what she experienced as a first-time visitor to Comic-Con and what kind of lasting impression that gave her and how it really cemented her love of all things nerd life, pop culture stuff, right? Comic books. And yeah, I would love to go as a Ted Lasso cosplay as well. Thanks again, Tori. We appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. And yeah, we'll definitely have you back on in the future to talk more stuff pop culture, because this is PopCultX. Bye, everyone.